Hello, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. My name is Christabel, the original Power Ranger princess. But on this channel, I'm Princess Power Ranger. Oh my gosh, it has been such a long time since I've seen you guys, since I've talked to you guys. So much has happened. But before I even begin this video, I just want to send a shout out to anyone who's just recently subscribed. You guys, love you, heart you, you're amazing. Thank you so, so much. But y'all, so let me catch y'all up just a little bit. I moved back to South Africa. I was living in Asia for about a year and a half, primarily Thailand. And I just missed home so much. I was so incredibly homesick. I come back to South Africa. I'm in Johannesburg for about a month, and then I moved back to Cape Town. Now, me coming back to Cape Town was basically, it was me coming back to something that I was familiar with, something like I know the streets of Cape Town. You know, I've lived here for years and years and years. I did not come to Cape Town to hook up with some tourists. But that's what happened literally the first day. So I land at Cape Town International and I check into the hostel I was staying in. I get myself like a private room in this like backpackers. So, Cape Town, cheers. Cape Town is a tourist hub. There's so many like backpackers and like hotels and stuff like that. So I just opted for the one that was closest to where everything was happening. Now, when I checked in, I was staying upstairs. I met a couple of people. I met this one girl. She was Afrikaans, and there was this one Turkish guy. So this Turkish boy was gorgeous. He was much taller than me, but really bulky with like this jet black hair and this like olive skin. But he didn't say much, like, and I don't know if it was like a language difference thing, but he was super, super quiet. Now, the Afrikaans girl, we're going to call her Siska. Siska was celebrating her birthday. So we all decided that we were all going to go get drinks and we were just going to turn up literally at the hostel. And it was such an awesome idea because there were so many people there that it was such like a cool vibe. But me, Siska, and the Turkish boy, we're going to call him Aladdin. Aladdin. So me, Siska, and Aladdin, we're all going to the liquor store. Now, whenever I meet new people and I'm trying to make sure that everyone is comfortable or whatever, I have this weird tendency of outing myself. I hate being in a situation where people are guessing about my gender or what I am or what's going on. So for years, I've always been the first one who would mention that I was trans. You know, I just bring it up in conversation. So as we're walking, me, Siska, and Aladdin on his magic carpet ride, I mentioned, you know, like when I transitioned, I wanted to have all of these surgeries, but now I'm like at a point where I'm happy with my transition. So as I was talking about this, Aladdin kind of leans in and looks at me and he's all like, why are we talking about transgender stuff all the time? And like, I just look at him and I'm like, oh, because I'm trans. And he was like, oh, I had no idea. That's awesome. So we get some liquor and then we head back. girl, me, Siska, and some of the other guys that were there, we got toe the fuck up. We got so lit. And it was so nice because we were just like chatting shit and just chilling out because it's winter here in South Africa. So, anyways, cool, whatever. Most of the guys that were drinking with us, they decided to go and, like pass out and sleep. And eventually Cisco was like, listen, I'm done for the night. I have to wake up early tomorrow. And she was out. So at this point, it's just me and Aladdin. And we're just sat on the couch, I'm just having my cigarette, and he's like almost passed out. Now, the thing is, he was always sitting next to me, but he said next to nothing. To the point I was wondering, wouldn't he be more comfortable, like, just lying in his bed and, like, leaving? But it didn't matter how tired this boy was. He refused to leave my side. Right up until we were the last two standing. So eventually, like, it's all quiet. So I strike up a conversation with him. And I'm like, aren't you tired? And he's all like, no, no, no. He's just chilling. So we start talking about, what he does in Turkey, and and like, what his life is like over there. We also talked about, what I'm doing back in South Africa and stuff like that. Now, I think a lot of people assume that because I'm transgender that I'm the aggressor in sexual, schmexual situations. But the majority of the time, like, I act like a naive 14-year-old when I'm with guys. I just assume that they're being friendly for the sake of being friendly. Aladdin was definitely trying to get into my pants. So at this point, he started letting me know that, like, he started, like, rubbing my leg and, like, kissing me, and it led to all of that. And he really wanted me to go into his room. So at this point, like, I'm super, super drunk. I just had, like, a blunt. I'm, like, so chilled. All I wanted to do was to just sleep. So I'm like, okay, like, I can, like, come over to your room, but all we're gonna do is, like, cuddle. And I thought, that would be fine because he was, like, basically passed out himself. Girl. As soon as we were in his room, as soon as he closed that door, listen, he had all the energy. That passed out little Turkish boy on the couch was something different in private. Girl, listen. For like 3 hours, this boy is trying to top me. And girl, so much happened. So much. Like, and it was like, I don't know, like, it moved a lot faster than what I was hoping for. But it was also so much fun. It was also so much fun, but it was weird at the same time because I realized towards the end, after the 3 hours, um, of like doing a lot. A lot, a lot. Listen, like, he almost got up in there, girl. Like, he had me like running up the curtain, like, and I'm like not about that vibe. And this is why, like, I prefer topping, because when I top, like, I'm the one who feels like I'm in control. It doesn't feel like I'm being like tossed around the bedroom, like a rag doll. However sexy or fun it is, it's just not my vibe. So, like, after 3 hours, I was like, boy, like, I need to go to my bedroom. Like, I need to go sleep. Because you're not going to let me have peace. So the following day, we were supposed to like hang out and go to like how band stuff, but I decided like not to because it was like super rainy and super cold. And it was kind of awkward without it being awkward. Now, I'm on Tinder, right? And days after me and Aladdin hook up, tell me why we match on Tinder. And then we started talking on Tinder instead of WhatsApp. It was like so weird. It was so weird. But he was so cute though. Now, I live with a lot of people in obviously a hostel. There are a lot of tourists that come in, and there are a lot of other South Africans that are almost like in transit. Tell me why. So there's this gay guy who lives with like in this area, well, in this hostel, and he knew obviously that I was trans and whatever. Someone might have told him. He might have clocked a bitch. Who knows? But when he found out that me and Aladdin, did, like the nasty, I was Cardi B all up in his junk, literally. He takes it upon himself to wake this boy up and be like, "Did you know that Christabel is, transgender?" And I'm thinking, of course he knew. He had my whole dick in his mouth. Like, be so for real. Be so for real. I mean, I know I talk well, but like, come on, like when two people are undra- but like it's always one of those things. It's always one of those things. Like living in hostels is so much fun because you end up meeting so many amazing and interesting people that you would have never met otherwise. But at the same time, like the number of times I've had to deal with and I'm just gonna say what it is, like jealousy or people looking at my situation or the type of attention that I get. The number of times that has happened is exhausting. Um, Aladdin ended up leaving eventually. He ended up going back to Turkey, and that was that. Um, and after that, I just, kept on going on dates. I think right now, where I am in my life, I'm more focused on becoming more stable and getting grounded again. I mean, think about it, friend. I've literally been traveling. I've literally either been living in hotels or backpackers or lodges or whatever since April. So, as cute as boys are, they're not where my focus is right now. I think I just want to get stable and centered and have a place for my Barbies. But anyways, thank you so much for just hanging out with me and like chatting and stuff. It has been a minute. I'm gonna do another video just after this. It's gonna be a Barbie video and it's gonna be a moshing. I love you guys so much. Auf Wiedersehen. Bye.